Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. We're going to do another installment of my essentially favorites series. I've given it a title called Wear, Want, Watch, Eat, Read, Succeed, and I thought we would do a summer favorites basically together, and I'll share everything that I've been loving for quite a while because I haven't made one of these in a bit. So for the very first category, I'm going to share with you what I've been wearing on repeat that really surprised me. I feel like you could almost write a psychology thesis out of this. I've never gotten this many compliments from wearing a specific color, and that is from this dress, which is showing up a little bit more of a grassy green on camera, but in real life it is a true Kelly green. It's really gorgeous. It's like that kind of emeraldy medium green. It doesn't have too much yellow in it, and it flatters every skin tone beautifully. And I've been wearing this dress quite a bit. I've worn it out in the evening, I've worn it to work. It's very easily worn in an office environment, and it's from Anthropologie, and they no longer have this particular style in this color. They still have this style in cream, which I will link down below, but I will also include a kind of curated selection of my favorite Kelly green dresses. But I just found it so interesting just how many total strangers and people I knew came up to me to tell me that the color looked wonderful on me, that I looked really happy in it, that the color made them happy. It was just crazy. I've never gotten a reaction like that, and I just wanted to share that. I feel like I've shared a lot of clothing recently with the Nordstrom anniversary sale, and you know, kind of talked a lot about that, and I will link this down below. It's like a little extra thing I got at the last minute that I really love. But this dress I've had for a couple months now, and I can't believe how much wear I've gotten out of that dress. Given the color, like, I wasn't sure how wearable it would be, but it's been super wearable, and just the amount of compliments that I've gotten have been insane. There's really something about that color, I think, that is really, really special. So I'll include a list of Kelly green dresses that I really, really like down below, and I feel like everybody needs one. So for wear also, I like to talk a little bit about cosmetics. I usually just mention one thing, but this time I'm going to mention three because we haven't chatted in a while, and I have some very exciting things that I've been loving for summer. The first one is this shampoo. Now, this is the Perfect Hair Day Living Proof shampoo. I have read so many stories about this. It was in the Daily Mail recently in a Get Disney Princess Hair really hokey article. But I've been meaning to try it for a while, and so I've been using it for a bit now, and I have to say, I think it's worth the hype because my hair is so smooth and shiny, and my scalp feels so good when I use it, but it's still like really clean feeling. For years I used those smoothing shampoo back when I was a teenager because my hair is frizzy, and it always weighed my hair down instead of actually making it smoother. You know, it just was never the intended effect. And finally, I think this is the only shampoo I've tried that actually does do that. Like, my hair is less frizzy after I use it than it would be otherwise. I can feel the difference in smoothness and kind of like silkiness. It has that blow-dried kind of feeling even before I heat style it. So I'm really impressed with it. I'm not normally a big believer at all in like luxury hair products or using a lot of hair products. I'm more about like caring for my hair and how you style it. But this product is really, really good. I'm really impressed with it. It really, really exceeded my expectations. So I thought I would mention it for you guys. The other product I've been loving, even though I'm super fair, but just to like warm up my skin tone a little bit, is this Coola Tan Sunless Dry oil mist. This is a self tanner, but it's in an oil base instead of a lotion or mousse base like most of them are. And it's got a lot of really, really great natural ingredients in it. It has argan, it has vitamin C, and it has aloe as well, which means that it's really great to use at the end of the day, maybe after being in the sun a little bit, but not tanning. I don't know, I really like this. I feel like it actually moisturizes my skin, it doesn't smell bad, and it's very even. It's kind of meant to be a fairly light self-tanner, but for me, because I'm so fair, I can see the difference right away, and it just warms up my skin tone and makes my skin a little bit less transparent as well, especially on my legs, so that, you know, they're not so kind of pink and veiny, and I really like it for summer. So I apply this pretty lightly. I clearly am not that tan, but if you're looking for just like a good ingredient, easy to use, not streaky, and kind of moisturizing self-tanner, I think that one is worth the money. And then I have to mention this because it's what I've been using all summer long. This one is from the Nordstrom anniversary kit that I got. It's in the original 001 color. I'm wearing it on my lips right now. I've been using these Dior lip glows in the various colors that they come in all summer long, and I realized the other day that I hadn't worn lipstick in weeks, like other than in my lipstick video pretty much, because I've just been wearing these on repeat. You don't need a mirror, they leave a pretty stain, they're really moisturizing. I know it seems silly to buy Dior lip balm, but it really is a lip product that you get a really nice experience out of using, with the combination of the moisturizing, slight staining, and just like pretty shine that you get. It's a lot more than a regular lip balm, and I've been loving these for years, and especially this summer, just wearing nonstop. So that's it. I'm going to leave it at that for the wear category. If you want to see a lot of the clothing that I bought recently, definitely check out the Nordstrom videos that I've done based on everything that I've gotten and styled from the sale. Something that I did get from the sale 2 years ago are these little diamond studs. Now, these are from Quiet. It's the classic martini setting. And 2 years ago, during the anniversary sale in 2016, I purchased these, and they were quite the splurge for me at the time. I had always wanted a pair of diamond studs, and I was really excited to find them on sale. So I got them, and it's one of my best purchases ever, because along with my own jewelry from Nouvelle Pearl, these are pretty much the only stud earrings that I wear. So these are 0.75 carat total weight, so half and half for each earring, and I think they're a really great size. However, because of how much I've been wearing these and the fact that this is kind of a special year for me, it's my 2-year anniversary in business and I'm turning 30 in December, I think I'm going to size these up. So I've now sent an email to the guy at Nordstrom Vancouver. It's a bit more complicated for me because Nordstrom Vancouver doesn't actually carry Quiet anymore, but he said he could order them in for me, and it's kind of a neat program that they do. This also applies to Bonnie Levi, which is a little bit more affordable than Quiet. But what you essentially are able to do is just pay the difference and size up in terms of carat weight. So I'm thinking of doing that to either the 1 carat or 1.25. If I do 1.25, then essentially I'll be doubling the size of each earring. And I'm just so happy with these that I feel like sizing them up a little bit would be really fun, but I'm not 100% sure it's going to happen this year yet, so that's why it's in my want category. If it doesn't happen this year, it will happen next year, because I'll make it happen in the US somewhere that they actually carry them. But hopefully he'll get back to me before the end of the sale and be able to order them in for me, because I think that would be really fun. So yeah, if you're looking for like a deal on diamond studs, I'm going to post this video while the sale is still going on, and it's something that doesn't really sell out, I think, most of the time, so it's something you can do kind of towards the end of the sale. I think these would also make like an amazing Christmas or birthday present for someone very special in your life, or for a lot of orders this summer. And when I make orders, I tend to watch Netflix, so here's some things that I've been watching. The first one was so anticipated by me, and it's actually HBO, it's not on Netflix, and it is Sharp Objects by Gillian Flynn with Amy Adams in it and Patricia Clarkson. It's set in the South. It's very eerie. It's a little slow at first, but trust me, there's so much crazy coming because it's pretty faithful to the book, so I kind of know what's going to happen. But despite that, I've been really into it. There are 2 episodes, 3 coming at the time of filming, so there's a few for you to catch up with if you haven't seen it yet, and it's so good and so gripping, so it's perfect for like that dark thriller kind of category. So far they've done a really great job with the casting and the atmosphere and the setting. It's all very, very true and faithful to the book, which I am really pleased with. Secondly, this is a really old show that everybody's already watched, but if you haven't, I've been really enjoying it. It's kind of like more in that kind of lost, like science fiction-y kind of category, is Fringe, and there's so many episodes for me to catch up with that, so I just started and I'm really liking it. And then the third one, which is more in the crime, just like really violent, just awful kind of guilty pleasure, is Animal Kingdom on Netflix. One of my colleagues actually mentioned to me that she was watching this. It was so different than I expected. It's very violent and very rough, but I really like it because of Ellen Barkin's character. She's the matriarch in the show, and oh my god, she's like so crazy and so amazing, and I love seeing a female role like that. I feel like that's really rare and unusual. So maybe like try it. Definitely not kid friendly, or like, you know, it's a very adult show, but I don't know, I kind of loved it, and I finished it on Netflix really quickly. It was like a guilty pleasure that ended quickly. So that's what I've been watching. And then for reading, I am back in that phase of reading heavier books after kind of an early summer of much lighter, more like young adult reading. I finally am reading Love in the Time of Cholera, and Marquez is definitely a writer that is a bit of an acquired pleasure, but once you get, I would say, around 50 pages in, you get accustomed to his cadence and tone, which is really different from Western authors, I would say, and I'm really enjoying it. It's a true classic that I feel like everybody should at least consider reading, yeah, it's a beautiful story so far, so I've been really enjoying that and kind of getting more into the pace of reading literature. So you'll probably see more of that in upcoming latte and literature book reviews. And then for the eat category, I'm going to give you 2 cooking tips today. One is something I've been doing for the last 2 or 3 months, and it has reached a maybe slightly unhealthy obsession where I want this in all my food. This is smoked paprika powder. It is the hot one that is from Spain, and it says it's hot, but it's not that spicy, but it will add a kick depending on how much you use, and I've kind of become so obsessed with it that I use quite a bit in almost anything I make, any sauce, pasta sauces, cream-based sauces, anytime I'm searing meat, salads. I am crazy for this stuff, guys. I'm guessing at some point I'll get sick of that smoky, meaty kind of flavor that it lends to food, but as of now, the obsession is strong. If you've never had this in your kitchen and maybe you've just had regular paprika, there's a huge difference. They do not compare at all. And yeah, I love it. If you kind of like fry it up in oil a little bit, it makes the dish have this beautiful color as well. So for entertaining, it's kind of makes your food very appealing. It gives them almost like slightly bacon-y taste. So if you're vegetarian or making vegetable dishes, like even in a ratatouille, I think this is amazing, and it's not like traditional to add that. So I've been kind of butchering all sorts of recipes by adding it to it, but the obsession is strong, and I don't know, I wish I discovered it years ago because I was using regular paprika in my cooking for years, but not that specific kind of authentic Spanish paprika. And the other trick that I have kind of readopted into my cooking, and I've been doing this with soups, like things like a chicken noodle soup or minestrone, and then I've been doing it for sauces like a really good ragu or bolognese or even pasta fagioli. Pretty much anything that is liquid, tomato based, and cooks for a while, I will add a piece of Parmesan rind, and then I will kind of scrape at it with a spoon once it's done cooking. It adds umami to whatever it is that you're cooking. It really does make a difference in terms of flavor. I guess I was maybe on the fence about it originally, and maybe I wasn't sure at first if like it was actually edible, but it actually is. So you can kind of scrape at it after and get some cheese off of it, but in terms of like it melting into your food, you don't need to worry about it. It is fully edible. I've researched it. And it really does make a difference to the taste of your cooking. So if you're kind of trying to take a recipe from like here to here, I think the combination of the Spanish paprika plus the umami of the Parmesan rind makes everything like mind-blowing. So that's my 2 little sister cooking tips for you this month. Then finally, I like to give you guys one or two tips for success in your career every time I do these videos. So here they are for my succeed category. The first one that I have been doing at work is to pitch in with things that you aren't necessarily supposed to do or expected to do. I've been pitching in with other files quite a bit over the last few months, and if anything, it'll probably teach you something new. And even if it doesn't, even if it's routine or even administrative for you to be doing, I think it will really strengthen your relationships with your colleagues, where they might otherwise be a bit distant, for me, like in different offices. So that's my tip in terms of being at work. In terms of being out of work, something I wanted to mention is that I think nowadays it's so hard to have like a social media presence and a career, and a lot of people I know in real life just feel like they cannot have a social media presence at all because of their professional careers. And my answer to that has always been to make sure that I have what's called sort of Chinese walls between the two worlds, where they are just separate and I compartmentalize. And so for me, it's very much like a confidentiality / professionalism issue that I never talk about my work. And I think it's something that even if you're in a non-law sort of career path, you might want to really think about adopting. I definitely often overhear people in restaurants or out and about talking often very negatively about their work and with great detail. And even if you don't have confidentiality or professionalism obligations, which you may have without even realizing, depending on what field you're in, I think it's just really wise, because you never know who might be overhearing you. And I think whoever your audience is, it's nice to vent, but equally it's also nice to just keep that part of your life private and separate. And it really is a very protective stance to take that will increase the respect that your employer has for you in the long run, and the trust that you are able to foster in your working environment. Those are my 2 tips for you this month, and I think those are all my favorites. So thank you so much for watching. If you had any favorites over the summer season in terms of products, fashion, things to read, enjoy, eat, whatever it may be, please leave them in the comments down below so that we can all benefit from your wisdom. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next installment.